Alright, hi everyone. So it has been a while since I posted a video. I think the last time I posted a video was almost 2 months ago? Maybe even 2 months ago. But the last video was basically the moral ethics guide video where I essentially talked about morality in Genshin Impact and all of that stuff. Since then, I haven't really uploaded a video, and the main reason being because of school. I didn't really update you guys on anything about that, but I was really busy with finals. I'm in my third year of college right now. Well, actually, this is about to be my fourth year. This is literally my last year. So, yeah, this semester was a lot of stuff going on, both personally and with stuff related to my major. And there is a lot of drama going on. Well, not really drama, but there is a lot of stuff going on in the background. So that's why I didn't really take a lot of time to make Genshin videos, and also on top of that, we then also got the delay for 2.6. So that didn't really help in terms of like content creation ideas. So for the most part, during that entire period that I hadn't posted a video, I was pretty much just focusing on school, and also I'm currently sick. So that's fun to come back to. Yeah, I don't know why I got sick. It just kind of randomly happened. I really don't know how or why, but it's whatever. It's nothing serious. Just a cough and mucus buildup and all that regular nasty stuff. But yeah, I'll start posting more content now. I'm actually gonna make a poll because I personally am not that into lore as much these days. I've been more interested in like math related stuff related to Genshin Impact. I've been a lot more interested in things like Spiral Abyss, character analysis. I've been more into just like the front board analysis of things, and I haven't really been that into like deep diving into lore and like theory making. And I'm starting to realize that I'm slowly not really into deep diving lore theory making, at least not right now. Right now, I'm very interested in just like showing off Spiral Abyss content and just like talking about numbers and stuff. And that's really what I feel like doing for at least a good couple of months until I really feel like talking about lore stuff again. Or if I just come up with a fucking crack wink theory that for some reason I just need to get out of my system. But for the most part, I haven't really been that into making theories. So I'll make a poll and I'll just ask for your guys' opinion and just vote whether or not you prefer watching theory videos on here, or if you don't mind if we just make a little shift towards more like analysis type content and like Spiral Abyss content, if you're okay with that. Obviously, I don't want to just randomly shift without like any notice. Obviously, I'm going to tell you guys ahead of time that like I'm probably considering it, but I'm just getting a second opinion here just to double check to make sure maybe I should just think things over or yada yada yada. Anyways, let me move on now to what I'm going to be talking about today. And today I'm going to be talking about the 2.7 Archon Quest. And I recently just finished the last part today because I've literally played each section on the day that it was released, because I was really looking forward to this quest, mainly because it had a lot to do with the Yakshas, and especially in relation to Zhao. And I was also kind of surprised when I saw Yanfei, Shinobu, and Ito alongside. That also got me intrigued and interested to then want to see how they did this quest. And honestly, they did a pretty good job. So this is going to be a quest spoiler. I'm going to say this now for people who haven't done the quest yet. Obviously, this is the day that I'm speaking about this in recording is literally like the third part just got released. So obviously there's a good chunk of people who haven't done the quest yet. So if you haven't done it yet, I would advise you click out of this video now, or you just go ahead and skip ahead towards, I think maybe like the end of the video. But honestly, even then, at that point, yeah, you should just click out the video, because a lot of this is going to be talking about stuff related to the quest for the most part for the rest of this video. So yeah, so day one. So for the most part in day one, so obviously we see Yanfei, then we see Ito and Shinobu. We all kind of cross paths under like that big skinny blue statue, and then right underneath it is like an elemental resonance area. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I'm saying. And then our girl Yelan appears. Woo! A 5-star, which by the way, I got Yelan and I love playing her. Just wanted to throw that in there. Really fun to play. Anyways, so then oddly enough, this was kind of something I never expected, and this was like what I liked about these quests in the Archon Quest, is that there was a lot of stuff that happened that like I didn't really expect to happen, and so it made me a lot more interested in the overall plot. So Yelan and Ito actually get into an altercation, and they almost fought. They were pulling Dragon Ball Z, they were powering up and everything. I thought someone was about to go down, and then they literally collapse underground, and then they're like, OMG, we're stuck here. Oh my god, we're stuck here forever. Wah. But then they realize that this is kind of a place where time and things related to time don't necessarily exist in the same format as they once did. You'll notice some characters, they'll say that their sense of time is, say, like, it's been 3 days, while other characters are like, but it's felt like 10 days to me. And then everyone doesn't really feel hungry, doesn't really feel tired necessarily. Doesn't matter how much they eat, how much they sleep, nothing really affects them. So they're kind of stuck in this space of sort of nothingness, if you could say it like that. And also Zhao can't really feel our presence, because during the quest we try to call for Zhao, because we actually interacted with him earlier, and then he kind of just disappeared and said, all right, I'm on my own, peace. So doing Zhao things. But then we like kind of heard bits and pieces of his voice when we went into the first domain, which involved a lot of rotating structures, and we kept hearing his voice, and it was very clear he was talking to someone that he was, especially who he knew. And it turned out that that person was the purple yaksha, and I think his name is Bosacious. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's the purple yaksha's name. And by the way, they release all the yakshas names, like their official names, but I'm not really gonna care to really mention it anywhere here. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now for clarification. But anyways, then the quest pretty much ends with everyone searching for an exit, because they're panicking. They're like, oh my god, there's no way out. We're gonna die. Like, oh my god, we're trapped. Wah. So then day 2, so Yelan happens to find another domain path, and apparently she has like an illusion, like anti-illusion spell power, bitch, I don't know. She has something that can basically just see through fake stuff, pretty much. And she happens to find another domain, which is a similar type that was in the first domain, and it consisted of light puzzles with very specific patterns. And then after we solve the puzzle, we notice that Zhao's voice begins to get louder, and it's more evident that he's specifically talking to Bosacious now. But remember that Bosacious is dead. They revealed at the end of the third quest that Bosacious is dead. So literally all the other yaksha are confirmed dead besides Zhao. So Zhao is the only physically remaining yaksha in the game, in the entire world of Tevat. So yeah, there's that. So then after solving the puzzle, we then see an illusion of Zhao. And now the thing is, all the stuff that he said to us was him in real time, but the illusion wasn't really him. So like basically it summoned an illusion of Zhao that like was him, but like not really him at the same time. It'll make sense when you do the quest, or if you already done it, you know what I'm trying to say. Basically he was there, but like not there, pretty much. And so he basically says he doesn't really know what's going on, he's very confused. So it's very evident that there's a lot of different dimensions and different areas to the place that they're at right now. And so underground in the puzzle area, they find a door, and in that door contain things that people didn't want to see. So Yanfei saw like a couple bickering about something, which is representing like her everyday life with like petty cases. Yelan refused to enter the door, obviously because she's a secret official and like she could be spilling some real hot tea if she goes in there. So probably not the best case for her. Ito went in there. It showed just, you know, people saying, ew, Oni, get out of here. And just like a bowl of beans. I think Shinobu's was her mother. And basically her mother nagged at her, basically saying that she should just be a shrine maiden, just settle down. Even though Shinobu wants to be free. And that's pretty much why she even went to Libya in the first place, I think. It's because she literally just doesn't want to be a shrine maiden. And then I was kind of surprised that Paimon didn't enter. I would have been very interested to see if Paimon decided to enter before the Traveler did. Because that would be very interesting to see what her worst fear, I guess, was, but we didn't get to see that. The last person we saw was, I think, the Traveler. And when the Traveler went in, the Traveler gets trapped in their imagination, which was the Abyss. And the Abyss was apparently the thing that the Traveler feared most. Now, there's a lot of things that could allude to, whether it's the fear of being consumed by the Abyss, or the fear of Teyvat being taken over by the Abyss, or just the Abyss in general and its relation to the Abyss having to do with taking their twin in a way, is probably all related factors into why it ends up being like the Traveler's most feared thing. But anyways, it almost fully traps the Traveler, like as in the Traveler almost got trapped inside an imaginary Abyss realm, which is kind of scary to think about, because imagine someone who has powers in this world who can do stuff like that at will. Not gonna jinx it, because there probably might be a character like that down the line who can unironically do that, but it's just scary to think about, because we literally just saw it like in real time. So if we do end up running into a character who can literally do that in real time and just casually do that, that would be pretty insane. But anyways, Yanfei, towards the end, after they get out of the puzzle, manages to kind of connect the dots and how to connect with Xiao. And the main thing is that basically the realm allows people's manifestations to, in a way, come true. And like, not necessarily in like a literal way, like, OMG, like, if I think of like this, it'll summon this, but more so like, it's kind of like the thing that we did with going to Raiden Shogun when she was doing her fight with the puppet, where we had to constantly think about the Raiden Shogun fight over and over again to get to that destination. That's basically what this was about. And so something that I liked about this quest is that they alluded and reused a lot of the stuff from the previous quest in terms of time into this quest, and I really like that, because it reinforces the idea of the way time in different dimensions work in at least this world. So then anyways, Yanfei and the Traveler then end up finding Zhao, and he just warps through the rift because he can hear us, and then he says, poof, it's Zhao, I'm here. And then Zhao and Paimon are knocked out. Paimon was really, I was kind of scared, because like, I was like, whoa, she is knocked out. I'm gonna pull a screenshot here, like, no, she was literally knocked out, like snoozing. Knocked out cold. Passed out. And I think this is like the first time we like actually have seen Zhao sleep. And it's kind of sad, because when you remember that he's a Yaksha, he probably doesn't really sleep at all. Or even if he does sleep, he kind of has to sleep on like alert mode for self-protection purposes. So this was probably one of the first times we've like actually seen him be in actual sleep mode and not be like on alert at all. And then the last day, I'm just calling these days to break it up into sections, but whatever. The third last day, which was, as I'm recording, happened and got released today. So then we wake up, we try to think of how to get out. Zhao proposes that he sacrifices himself, which, psychotic, and Yelan heavily opposes this, and they kind of get into a back and forth about that. And then Ito just randomly pops out of nowhere and then just gets impatient, just smashes a door down. And then, which, by the way, that door pretty much then ended up leading to us getting out. So, I mean, props to Ito, I guess. But Homeboy literally just popped out of nowhere. He was like, I'm tired of y'all fighting. Blasted a door down and then just knocked out the rest of the quest. And then that was it. And so then we ended up finding the last domain after that, though. And then the last domain, so this was the most trippiest one, and this was the one that kind of took me the longest, because I didn't really understand what the hell was going on at first, and then it kind of made sense afterwards, like almost any other Genshin quest that's a little confusing or has some puzzles in it. But essentially the domain was affected by time changes, specifically through the Fantastic Compass, and there were specific dials where when you turn them, it would either go forward or backwards in the time in which that you wanted to go to. And so obviously then each time would go to different domains, and then depending on your actions, and in this case it had to do with the little tree that was right next to the Fantastic Compass in the first, how do I explain this? I guess like the first realm in this domain. We'll just call them realms, I guess, whatever. I don't know what to properly call them. but we'll call them realms for now. Obviously, probably not the best term, but whatever. So the first realm was like where we begin with in this domain, and basically there was like a little tree branch, and essentially when you go forward without touching the branch grows, but then obviously that gets in the way of the compass. So you have to break it in the first one, then go to the second one, and then fast forward, and then basically continue to do series of actions and also collect notes and stuff like that. So I actually really like this quest. Me and my friend kind of had a hard time on this, and it took us a little while to get it because I was playing this live while she was watching me, and we were both really lost in what the hell was going on. But yeah, it was really fun to do. And then overall, after all of that, I think in like the second to last realm, we ended up fighting Bosacious's like illusion thing. I don't know what it properly called. What is called an illusion? It's basically just an illusion that is just a manifestation of Bosacious in a way. And then what we quote unquote fought that, but I'll go more into that later in like my pros and cons list for this quest. And then the last realm that we landed in was actually the Traveler's Imagination of the Abyss, which was kind of eerie and weird, but regardless. And then we see like an imagination or like an illusion of the Traveler's sibling. Obviously, it's an illusion, not real. It fades away after we run after it. So yeah, womp womp, whatever. And then Yanfei, after we go back to the cave, realizes that the compass relies on a combination of Adeptus and human powers to escape underground. So then obviously we managed to get Zhao and Yelan to cooperate and combine their powers. And so then there's the whole animation shortcut going on, and Zhao then maintains the energy flow to keep the thing going up so we can get out. But then literally right before we get out, Zhao like just runs out of power. And then the motherfucker sealed all of us and then sacrificed himself. He sacrificed himself, and listen, the way my heart sank when that man flew into emptiness. Oh god. And I really thought they were going to kill him off too. And I mean, honestly, I would have been fine whether or not they killed him up, because it would have been great either way. Because in one fashion, it was like Zhao's sort of last will, I guess, like he mentioned somewhere in like the second or third day, where he talks about how when Yanfei is talking about how her entire point of being here was because of somebody's last will, Zhao was like, well, what if this is my last will to do self-sacrifice in order to protect others? Which was like, oh, cute, but like at the same time, like, sir, you don't need to die. There is no need for you to die right now. So yeah. He basically tries to sacrifice himself though, but Zhongli, just in the right time, just happened to be there, and Zhongli ends up saving Zhao miraculously, and then he just wisps away into the blue, pretending like nothing happened, even though we all know damn well it was him. And then at the end of the quest, we get another talk with Zhao, and Zhao basically, yeah, I guess this is sort of like a character development era for Zhao, because now Zhao is starting to realize that life is more for him than just being a yaksha and just like fighting and just being a warrior and just being like a slaughterer, in at least what he thinks. Because according to him, all the other yakshas wouldn't mind settling down similar to human life when peace came to Tevat, but Zhao was probably the only one who didn't really think that. And I think that costed him a lot of, I guess, a sense of his morality. So now we get some character development from Zhao, and now he's starting to realize that there's a little bit more to living life than, I guess, just only thinking that your purpose is slaughtering people and karmic things. And so we'll probably see a more tender side of Zhao later on in the game. Who knows? And yeah, that's pretty much how the quest went. Oh yeah, and then they then go in more detail with how the Purple Yaksha died and stuff. And then they also give us the names, and they show us just for like a second of like all the little drawings of like the actual character models and faces of the other yakshas, which is really cool. And I liked it. Okay, so that was a lot of explaining. That was like 20 minutes total just of that section of the video. Whew. All right, well, now we got the pros and cons list. So I'm going to just try to get to that quickly. So my overall pros, so this was definitely by far one of the better Genshin quests, at least in the 2.0 version series. This was really good, and I personally really liked it. I didn't expect a whole lot, to be honest, especially after all the delay that was happening, all of the stuff that was going on IRL in the Hoyoverse studios and all of that. But overall, I was pretty impressed. I actually really liked it, and it made me a bit interested in the game's story again. So it definitely did its job in bringing people back into this game. So A plus for that. Overall, I like the storytelling. It was good. It was very clear, very concise. Again, very easy to digest for casual people, as well as some little crumbs for people who like lore. So they did really good in terms of like the storytelling with this, especially the way they separated it into different sections. And then it also continued with the theme of time in different universes and realms, stuff like reality warping, illusions, manifestations. I really did like that they continued with that sort of theme, especially under the 2.0 version, because we got a lot of that with the Raiden Shogun second quest. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad that they kind of continued with the theme. They didn't just completely give it up entirely. And they also kind of introduced a new way of how time affects this world. And so it kind of gives us a new scope on the way time functions in general. So I really like that. For the most part, the characters were pretty relevant and made sense to the plot. So nothing really to complain about there. All of it kind of made sense for who was chosen. Obviously, we had Ito and Shinobu kind of for comedic relief. We had Yanfei, who was obviously the brains of the whole operation. Honestly, love Yanfei, period queen. We have Yelan, the brave, but also pretty cutthroat, straightforward, and like, we should just do this and like hurry up type of person. Love her, absolutely love her. And then of course us and Zhao, and you all know the whole spiel. So really good. I did like the second and the third domains. They were really nice, and I liked that they were like little gacha puzzle quests. Obviously, it was nothing like too insane or like too big brain or anything, but it was like, I liked it. Test my brain a little. It was nice, and I liked it. It was good. And obviously, the Zhao ending, that one, yeah, I don't even need to explain any further. They did a really good job with that Zhao ending. I overall really liked it. And honestly, I wouldn't have minded if they went either way. That's the good thing about this, and like the way they slowly introduced like the possibility of him actually like dying, is that I really wouldn't have minded whatever happened, because I would have been happy with what Zhao did either way. So yeah, I really liked that. So now into the cons. The first domain was kind of but I mean, it was fine for like an introduction to the trilogy of the quests, I guess, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I mean, I don't know. My other con is that we didn't, I mean, we kind of got some info about Shinobu, but I kind of feel like the whole shtick was just making Shinobu Ito's personal caretaker, which I mean, it's not really even a con. I kind of just found it funny that he basically made her like his own personal babysitter during that entire quest. But I was just in there like, come on, I want to see her, I want to see her do something. I want to like, where's all the little ninja stuff? I want to see her, I wanted to see her do like something, but I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it made sense with who she is as a character and her affiliation with Ito, but like, I just wish she kind of did something other than that. I don't know. And then lastly, okay, this was something that I was really put off by though. I kind of expected not even like a boss fight, but like some sort of like actual fight. I don't know. I expected some sort of fight to happen, but then like it didn't happen. And then like the most, I guess, quote unquote boss fight that we got was like against that Bosacious illusion. But like, it's like this little tiny circle wicked space-time continuum type motherfucker. And we kind of got like 30-ish seconds of just Zhao gameplay. And then we kind of just really stood there, and all we really did was avoid their slow void attacks. I don't know. I felt like that aspect there should have been, I don't know. something should have been going on, because Zhao was huffing and puffing day 2, and then day 3 we meet the illusion again, and suddenly silence, suddenly nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I really expected a little more, or like at least some sort of like good fight to happen, but then it didn't really come. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess overall it got made up for by the ending, so whatever, I guess. But still, I wish there was like some sort of like epic fighters. Not even like a super epic fight, just like a good fight, which is something. I don't know. I feel like this one wasn't really as focused on like fighting, and more so on just the brain and just literal straightforward analytical mindset in general. But yeah, it just made no sense why we just looked at an illusion of Bosacius for like 30 seconds, just sat there, and then just like moved the A key for a couple seconds and just dodged their super slow attacks. Like, what was the point of that? Like, I don't know. It kind of just made no sense. And I mean, yeah, overall though, the quest is good though. Good quest. I mean, honestly, even like the cons that I've listed, they're not even really like big cons. They're just like little things that I personally wish they could have done more on or touched up on. But I mean, honestly, the quest was really good. It was a great quest and I really loved it. So yeah. Anyways, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And again, just a reminder, be sure to vote in the poll what type of content you don't mind seeing. Please be honest. Don't halfway the answer. Please just give an honest answer. I don't mind. It's fine. It's okay to be honest. All right. And on that note, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.